Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 19 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be rabbit, and today is going to be a shoulders and arms training routine. And the theme for today's workout is going to be assisted PNF stretching. So right now, I'm going to be demonstrating some more assisted PNF stretches. Now let's get started. And while we are resting, it is time to continue with our PNF demonstration in a sideline position. And once again, we are going to be taking a special orthopedic test and turning it into a PNF stretch. The test that we're going to be using is the Faber test. The Faber test is a test for general pathology in the hip. So if you get a positive test, it's not going to be really informative with regard to diagnosing any condition. We're just going to know that they have some type of general hip pathology. But what the Faber test is, also known as Patrick's test or the figure four, is we are going into flexion, F, abduction, AB, external rotation, ER, hence Faber, flexion, abduction, external rotation. So the way that we would do this in the test, they would be in supine, and then we would just drape the ankle over the knee and take them into flexion, abduction, external rotation. If we wanted to use this as a stretch, a couple different hand positions. One, we could stabilize at the sacrum. You could do it either with an underhand or overhand. Me personally, I like overhand, so my fingertips are pointing the head because I don't want the middle finger going somewhere where the patient doesn't want it to go. So that's going to be a lot safer, just to stabilize with the sacrum with your hands going up. And then what I would do from this position over here is I would just cradle the tibia and the femur, and then I would go into flexion first, then abduction, and then I would take them into that figure four. We could do a combination as well. We could do flexion first and then instruct the patient, inhale, push your foot into me. They would inhale, contract, and then we would go into stretch. Then we could go up into abduction. Inhale, bring your knee down to the floor. They would inhale, contract. Then we could take them back up. And then we could go into lateral rotation and instruct the patient, inhale and rotate your thigh inward. And they would inhale and rotate, and then we would go further in. And then the last thing, we could do a combination. So once we are here, we go into flexion, abduction, lateral rotation, and we tell them, inhale, bring your knee down toward your foot. Inhale, bring your thigh down toward the ground. Inhale, bring your ankle up to the sky. And then on the exhale, we would reverse everything. So we would go into flexion, abduction, lateral rotation all in one shot. If somebody is really, really tight, this is going to be a good position. If somebody is very, very flexible or hypermobile, what you can do is you could just get them right into a figure four, and then you could go hip to hip. So you could get your greater trochanter, anchor it on the sacrum, and then you could hug the foot, and then you could lift up, lean back, and rotate out. This would be ideal for somebody with very hypermobile hips. If somebody is very, very restricted, this is going to be a lot easier because you're not going to be able to go into that extreme range of motion. But when we are using the Faber test as a treatment modality, what we're going to be stretching is primarily going to be the gluteus maximus, and specifically the inferior fibers of the gluteus maximus. We're also going to be targeting the posterior fibers of the adductor magnus. Some other muscles that are going to be involved, we're going to be getting a little bit of the semimembranosus and semitendinosus, and to a much lesser extent, we're going to be getting a little bit of the adductor longus and brevis, as well as the pectineus and gracilis. But those are the muscles that we are going to be stretching in this test. Our rest period is up. Time for set number 4. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.